Hey everyone, the Christmas season is in full swing, and we know what that means. Ugly Christmas sweaters, lots of Christmas lights, and of course, Christmas music. If you listen to any Christmas music, whether it's traditional carols or even some contemporary Christmas songs, you find that there's a single theme in a lot of these songs, and that is the theme of peace. We all want peace, don't we? Everybody wants peace in this world. Peace among nations and peace in our families, peace even within our own hearts. The desire for peace really does reside in every human heart. And yet, it seems odd that at every turn we find a lack of peace around us and among us. Peace just seems so elusive. I mean, come on, if brilliant diplomats from all around the world and millions of dollars in humanitarian aid and worldwide pressure cannot bring peace among nations, how can we possibly imagine that peace will be achieved in our own families? No wonder why so many people just bury that longing for peace deep within their hearts. You know, that's exactly what the Israelites were facing during the time of the prophet Isaiah. You see, Israel and Judah were warring against each other, and this superpower, Assyria, was going to come down and eventually destroy Israel and take the people captive into exile. People were so desperate for peace that they turned to false gods to find greater prosperity and security. And in the midst of all of this turmoil and the lack of peace, God makes this stunning declaration in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. He says, "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." The answer to all the problems in Israel and in the world is a child. A baby will do what nations and diplomats and leaders have failed to do. A child will be the Prince of Peace. You see, the incarnation of Jesus is how God launched his rescue mission for humanity. It is the irony of ironies. A baby born outside of a small town. No royalty there, no palace to house him, no fanfare. Jesus, Emmanuel, lying among the animals. What this teaches us is that only God himself can give us the peace that we all long for. Jesus is literally God with us, and only God's presence among us could give us the peace we need. Why? Because sin causes conflict and turmoil. It is sin that divides nations and races and families. And it is sin that causes us not to listen and empathize with each other. It's sin that causes us just to do what we want to do. But Jesus came to give us peace. Not just the absence of conflict, by the way. Peace in the sense that the Bible says shalom, when everything is working as it's supposed to. Jesus coming as our Prince of Peace is God restoring everything that sin has damaged. And yet, Jesus did not attempt to negotiate among a peace treaty among nations or families. While that's important, his work was much bigger, much more foundational than that. Jesus came to destroy the sin in our hearts without destroying us. And the only way he could do that was to become one of us and to experience all of our unrest, all of the hatred in the world, all of the evil in the world. And he endured the worst of humanity to the extent of dying on a cross. He made war with sin so that he could make peace with us. You see, our greatest need is actually peace with God. And only the cross of Jesus could accomplish that. And through faith in Jesus, you and I can experience eternal peace. This is the gift of Christmas, the greatest gift. And because of the empty tomb, we can have confidence that Jesus will not only came back the first time, but he'll come back again and finish what he started. And it says in Revelation, we know that when Jesus returns, he's going to be able to say, "Behold, I am making all things new." This is our hope. You may not be experiencing external peace today. Your family might be a wreck. Your job situation might be overwhelming. You might be feeling lonely this Christmas. Without minimizing any of those things, I want you to know it's possible to experience the all-surpassing peace of God that Philippians 4 talks about. Because in our brokenness, in our pain, in our struggle, peace has come. Jesus is our Prince of Peace.